Good afternoon. It's Celeste of Astrology by Celeste here on this lovely Friday afternoon where I hope everyone is doing well. Hey, Tiffany, that kind of girl. How are you? And Selena and everyone. Oh, thank you. Okay, I'm excited to be talking to JeMaja. Let me invite her up. I hope Moon. Yes, yes. I'm kind of liking this energy. Oh, you're on fire. What does that mean per se? On fire. How? Mm. Still under the Aries full moon. Hi, Manifester from Toronto. Oh, good. In the most wonderful way. Hi, Ashley from Utah. I can't wait to see you next week. I'm so excited. I am going to be teaching about predictive astrology in Utah next week. At the OPA Cosmic Shift Retreat. So this is going to be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So while we wait for JeMaja, what should we talk about? Ooh, the Nobel Peace Prize came out today, and my podcast next week is going to be called Steel Magnolias, and it's about, it just came to me about these women who, oh, why does it say JeMaja can't join? It's like, let me try again. Venus is opposite Saturn. So, yeah. What did you notice? Have you felt this energy of Venus opposite Saturn? Now, we saw it with the Nobel Prize, where this woman who's been under incredible pressure trying to bring democracy to Venezuela at risk of, her own life, and apparently a bunch of people have been killed there because trying to get free and fair elections. And she won the prize. So congratulations to Maria Machado is her name. Let's see. Hopefully Gemini. Yeah, I have like six boyfriends. Are they all around the world? Because I know you just went to Europe. Ooh, good for you. It's oh good. Well, you go, girl, Tiffany. Hey, Jemija, how are you?
Okay, how you doing, Celeste?
I'm good. I saw you. The thing said Jemija can't join, and I was like, oh no.
No, and I realized, you know how you see, like, oh, I had plenty of time, and then my upstairs neighbor's cat came down to visit, so I'm trying to get their dinner together, and I realized you guys are making me late for my meeting with Celeste and stuff. How are you?
I am doing good. I'm in a great mood today.
Well, isn't the moon in Gemini?
The moon is in Gemini. That's why I'm in such a good mood. I have Venus in Gemini.
And I have my son in Gemini, so you know what I mean. So for me, it's like Gemini moons to me have a feeling of playfulness, and on a Venus, and Venus, this is Friday. Friday is Venus's day. It just feels like we're having fun, like things are light and full of love, like love is in the
Yes.
air.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Yeah. So we wanted to talk about Venus today. And I was just telling people, I was just talking about Maria Mercado. I think that's how you say her
Yes,
name, who won the Nobel Peace Prize. And, that in the news are women who are steel magnolias, who are standing up against incredible pressure, and being
yes,
recognized about
yes.
it.
Right. And and I was so happy to, of course, to see that and for what and why she won it, similar to why Obama won it and he won it. People,
Mhm.
the those attributes of fighting for democracy against all odds aren't easily recognized or lauded typically
Mhm.
in societies, especially societies that haven't are new to democracy or have lost their way. Speaking of like ours, perhaps, who have
Mhm.
we've been losing our way. So to see this happen right now, to witness her winning the struggle to get there, and we're having to fight not going back to there,
Yes,
I think is wonderful.
absolutely.
And to your point about bullies, I mean, she's had to fight bullies, and she's still fighting bullies because now they're
Mm-hmm.
coming out of the woodwork.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that what is his name? Maduro. Yeah.
Yes, Maduro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and this is emblematic to me of this age that we're in right now, Celeste. You know, we've had our first. We're such a baby country. We had our first Pluto return. You know, so now we
Mm-hmm.
actually have grown up. We've grown up because we made it through that. But it's also signifying the ending of energies and structures that are no longer serving or will no longer will serve us as a collective into this new age.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I see the Pluto return also. All of the things that have been hidden, like
Yes.
corruption,
Oh my
are coming
goodness.
to the surface
Yes.
for everyone to see. And
Yeah.
now, what are we going to do about it? And no
Right.
one's coming to save us, so
No.
it's up.
Yeah.
It's up to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. We're the
And
cavalry. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and Saturn and Neptune are moving together, and they're going to meet in February in
Oh.
Aries at 0 degrees at
Oh.
the IC, which is our like foundation of the country. They're meeting at 0, and the USIC is at 1 Aries, and
Oh
the
wow.
IC represents the opposition party, the land of the country, like the home value industry.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow, that's major. And that's February of 2026, huh?
That's February 20th, 3 days after a solar eclipse at 28 Aquarius, so a sign that rules technology,
Yes.
groups of people,
Right.
societies, organizations, as well as the U.S. has a
Oh
27-degree
my, come on.
Aquarius moon. Yes, the people in the third house, which
Right.
has associations with the press,
Yes.
all kinds of communication,
Communications. Yes.
transportation, and
Mm-hmm.
things.
Mm-hmm.
And Uranus will be at 20, 28, 27, actually,
Of Gemini,
27 Taurus,
of Taurus. Okay.
squaring that from the sixth house of the rank and file and clerical workers. Health, things that go
Oh,
wrong with health,
yes.
like public stuff. So we're in for like some kind of shock,
Yeah.
rebellion,
Yes.
reversal.
Yeah.
Something big is coming in February, right
And,
around that time.
and now
It could
we're
be about technology. I mean,
absolutely. Yes. Now, well,
mhm,
Pluto being in Aquarius still. Pluto will be in
mhm,
Aquarius. Not Pluto won't be retrograde or anything, right? Pluto will be
correct.
direct in Aquarius, and that's also important to me because Pluto,
Mhm.
in Aquarius also. That's like, as you mentioned, the attributes of Aquarius. So, our collective transformation is
Yes.
well. That's just Pluto saying, "I got them ready. Now we can go ahead and Pluto had us marinated. Pluto worked us over, and when it
Uh-huh.
came as a return, now we're in that marination stage. We're sort of like how you soak a pot that's been burned
Hmm.
with some type of sauce. So I think we're right now Pluto will by then because I think Pluto right now. Well, Pluto's getting ready to station direct. I think Pluto.
Yes,
Yeah,
Monday.
Monday.
Monday. This weekend is really big. Pay attention to what is happening because
Really?
Pluto tomorrow is Venus in Virgo is opposite Saturn in Pisces. It perfects. We've been feeling it this whole week, coming to a culmination. It perfects tomorrow. And then Pluto stations direct on Monday. And like 5 days before and after, there's a lot of intensity. And Pluto
Hmm.
rules like power. Power dynamics and power
Absolutely.
struggles,
Yes.
and Pluto, it's out of bounds is what it's called, where it's like it's moving
Oh.
outside the declination of the sun, which is a calming influence. So we
Hmm.
can see it with people protesting all over the
Yes.
world, like
Yes.
in Nepal, they overthrew their government in a couple of days, set somebody else up. Yeah. Hmm.
And we see what's happening in Chicago with ICE. I mean, it's happening in pockets, and we're building to another king, no King's Day. We're building
Yes.
to. So, no, I think this, it reminds me of that song, a few songs. It must be, this joint is jumping. It's really jumping. It's that kind of energy. And even Michael Jackson, you want to be starting something. We're starting something.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's alarming. It's alarming to all of us to a certain degree, and it does have an impact on our nervous system. But we're having to experience this chaos and this coughing up and this tearing up of stuff in order for us to reach to the next stage. When I redid my kitchen years ago in my home in Long Island, I knew it'd be wonderful. We have how it was going to look, but taking the walls down and all that, it was just horrible. But we had to do that. All the dust and having to use a hot plate and everything else, and then questioning each other and ourselves. Why'd you do this? Why'd you do this? Kind of thing. But once we got past that, we were satisfied with the next phase of our ability to live and cook, if you will. So that's what we're in right now. We're in the tear down phase
Mm-hmm.
of the old energies, and it's always uncomfortable. One, because we even though we may not like the present and how we've been living, but we know it. We know how to navigate this terrain, and we don't know. And we're, as a people, as individuals, and as a collective, we're always very weary of the unknown. It's not easy being a pioneer, because we like to know, especially in our current society, we can look up anything and have information, but we can't get information on exactly how it will look. Why?
Exactly.
Because that's our job. That's our job to actually recreate that. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
no one's going to come save us, nor will anyone come and actually put in and install. We shouldn't allow that, anyone to install how our future will look, even our near term future.
Mm-hmm.
So it's incumbent upon us to do this work with ourselves first and then the collective.
Absolutely. And I love how you likened it to you remodeling your house, because that's
Yeah.
exactly what Pluto does. It tears things down to the studs
To the
in
stud.
order to
Yes.
be rebuilt. So what a
Rebuilt. Yes. Yeah.
perfect imagery of it. Yeah. And
Hmm.
Teresa mentioned Tish James. She's another Steel Magnolia. She
She
gave an
is.
incredible speech, and there's a rally for her, a protest for her tonight, because she's been indicted
Hmm.
on mortgage fraud, where and we know all of these prosecutions are
Yeah.
retribution, because the president accidentally put a DM to the attorney general, posted
Yes.
it on his social
I
media.
know.
It was confirmed like yesterday. It was
Yeah.
meant to be a DM telling her to get Jim Comey, get
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Tish James, and there was somebody else I can't remember.
Oh, I
So,
mentioned there's a long laundry list of people, and then he's also riled up because he couldn't make it stick with Jimmy Kimmel. So
mm,
he realized that, oh, the people are saying don't go there, do not
hmm
go there.
hmm
And then that impacted the money of the big corporations like Disney, because we said, you know what, we can take away our money for that. That's not a necessity. We
yeah,
like it, but we could do without it, kind of thing.
uh,
So, and that was a good showing for the people also to see we have the power. We have to remember that through these times that we have the power. And I
yes.
think, and something I wrote down, and you'll be able to correct me on this. Let's see, it is Pluto. Oh, well, I guess I wrote down a note to myself. Pluto stationary direct on the 14th is a reclamation, reclaiming our power. It's reclaiming our power and our freedom.
I love that. I
You
love
know,
that. And there's
it's
actually supposed to be, uh, if this ceasefire holds, that's
right.
when hostages are supposed to be released.
Uh
And there's
huh.
a big swap going on in
Wow.
Israel.
Okay.
But that may be delayed with the Pluto direct. We'll see.
Yes.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
I can't believe people, it's what's happened in Gaza. It's time for that
Yeah.
horror
I
to
hope
end.
so. I really do hope so.
I'm
And then we have
pleased.
Venus
And
conjunct.
Venus goes into Libra, so it's a perfect day
Oh,
for
Venus goes into
peace.
Libra. Very good.
Yeah, Monday is a huge day. There's Pluto
Okay.
stationing direct.
Right.
Venus goes into Libra
Okay.
and and forms a kite in air and fire. So I call this kite Steel Magnolias.
Oh,
So
an air and
Venus
fire. Yes.
in Libra will be trine Uranus, the great awakener and the planet of
Right.
revolutionaries in
Yes.
Gemini, and Pluto in Aquarius. All air signs. Air deals with the people.
Mm-hmm.
This is concerning for the weather. There's a big storms going on
Yeah.
because air in that kind of formation, like
Right.
Venus heats it up a little bit. I feel like Venus is moist. I mean, it's not
Yes. Yeah.
literal, but this is
It's
it's
the
not
energy
literal
of it. Mm-hmm.
astrology.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
and air can get like caught in loops. But then there's Neptune in Aries, exactly opposite Venus, and
Okay.
that
That's
can help
fire.
lift things up and
Mm-hmm.
give them
Mm-hmm.
flight. So,
Wow.
so yeah,
Okay.
so being that Venus opposite Neptune, we're going to be seeing something that
Yes.
maybe we weren't expecting. A mythic hero may
Yeah.
rise, like with
Yes.
the Steel Magnolia,
Mm-hmm.
is what
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting with
And
that. So we'll see.
I think I like what you mentioned about the steel magnolias because not all of them are known. So there are a lot of us in our communities who will be steel magnolias,
Yes.
who will be ignited by this air and fire kite, and we'll lift off. We'll be, I think a little. I wasn't crazy, never was crazy about this movie. I don't know why, but Mary Poppins. I can see a lot of us with our little umbrellas just taking off with the air and fire of the kite. That we'll able to be able to lift off and do our work, because we'll be reclaiming our sovereignty, which is so important
Mm,
right now as women, especially because I know in my work I primarily work, most of my clients, well, it varies. I find a lot of my male clients are Saturn returners, their first Saturn returns, but most of my female clients range from any age from Saturn returns to second Saturn return. um,
mm,
and I find there are times when Celeste, we get overwhelmed, and that's the state that we're in because we're doing so much is available to us, and now we have a lot going on. So my work actually is to sort of like just meet them where they are, because we need to sort of calm ourselves.
absolutely.
Typically, our systems are stressed out and depleted. So then I
Hmm.
energize the system, because you can't really, you know how you come home after a tough week of work, you know you got to clean the house, but you're too tired to. So you have to actually take a nap and eat and rest up a day before you can even tackle it all. It's the same thing energetically. You can't,
Hmm.
you need to sort of rest up and actually be, restored and rejuvenated. Then let's get in and do the work.
Hmm.
And then I do the empowerment. I'm doing energetic, so it involves talking, but there's also energy work to empower the system to then say, what can we do? What should we do now? And sort it
Mm.
out, and then start on that, because we can't do everything like that movie says. We can't do all everything together all at once, everywhere all at once. We can't. That's not possible.
Hmm.
And
No.
as women, we typically take that on. That's typically our approach to, because we do a lot. We are multitasking all the time, like an
Yeah.
octopus. And
Yes.
after a while, we run into a wall, and we have to then slow down and just sort of then reapproach our lives differently and intentionally. And this energy is that the energy that we're having right now, requiring us to do that in order to effectively move, not away from, but move into our next phase.
Hmm.
There's no need for us to continue operating the way we have been. Not saying anything was wrong with it. I'm just not saying it's self-sustaining.
Yeah, it's really not. People are really, really, really needing a rest.
Yes. Yeah. And what gets challenged by people, or what, the chakras, right? We have chakra system,
Mhm.
the different
Yes.
chakras. So we have the main chakras on the body are the first through the sixth, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then seventh. But that's the cosmic one. We don't. That's the opens to the divine. But the chakras that get most depleted during these times are the first, third, and the fifth.
Mm. Yeah, the
And
first is the sacral, right? So, or like a foundation.
it's the root. No, it's the root.
Oh, the root. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
But it's the foundation. It is the foundation.
Yeah.
And then the third is our will chakra. That's the one that helps us to stand up for ourselves and
Hmm.
actually manage things. It's also the one that actually communicates to the upper chakras and the lower chakras, so it keeps them balanced if it can. And then the throat chakra. How do we actually communicate our sovereignty, our own personal divinity, who we
Hmm.
are? So think about being bullied. Guess what? Guess what's not working? Guess what's out of harmony? The first, third, and fifth. We
Mm.
don't feel rooted. We don't feel like we have standing.
Hmm.
Third chakra, our will is compromised. That's why you find people sort of bent over. because they have too much on their back, so they're bent over. So their
Yes.
will is compromised, and they can't speak up for themselves. Fifth chakra
Mm.
is blocked, or just they're blocked. It's not in harmony. So, and it's not anything that doesn't happen to all of us or has not happened to any of us at any given time. But I find that right now, as we're going through these extraordinary energy transformations and fluctuations, that we'll find ourselves in situations that will test us and help us see, oh, wow, I'm not solid state in that area. I need some support.
Hmm. And what do you recommend to help energize our chakras or clear them, or
Yeah, no,
especially
that's
those three? Is
especially
there?
those three. Yeah, and for those three especially, one is to actually returning to the basics. I think oftentimes we are so in our tech world and our tech heads that we have not given proper attention to the basics in life, the basics that our grandmothers and great grandmothers knew how to tend to, and that is that being able to sit still for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really being, and to sit still. Think about it. Years ago, when we didn't have the phones, and don't get me wrong, I'm a techie gal. I have a phone. I have a couple of iPads. I have a Kindle. I love my tech. Um, but there's a opportunity that we're missing and overlooking by not having time to put that aside. Not saying it's wrong. Put it aside for a minute and be with yourself. You cannot hear or receive any inner guidance if you're too busy looking at everything else.
Mm-hmm.
There's something that we used to do years ago when we were in line waiting at the bank or whatever. We would daydream. It wasn't so much daydream, and sometimes we had fantastical fantasy daydreams, but daydreams also allowed your right brain, the creative side of yourself, to let the left brain relax or tell it to stand down, and then just come up with things that have you thought about this? Out of the box thinking typically comes from the right brain, comes from the heart, not the structure side of ourselves.
Yeah.
A lot of our, and even in astrology requires a lot of left brain thinking. I mean, the amount of information that people like you and others have is amazing. And oftentimes I find when you combine that with a channeling ability, which is the right brain, that's when you're bringing forth a blended heart placed information that we can actually access and use.
Mm-hmm.
So by sitting still, take a little time to daydream, take a little time to just contemplate, meditate. I don't mean to go through an hour meditation, but I always call it P&M, prayer and meditation. Prayer is when you listen. You listen to, you're listening, and when you meditate and pray and contemplate, you're listening. You may be asking, but you're also creating that that circuit. There's a circuit that happens, and then we often are only on one side of the circuit. We're actually putting out, putting out, putting out, putting out, and we need to have a place where we can actually sit and receive.
Mm.
There are other easy things that we can do, and these may sound simple, but it's also important to connect with the outside world. When I say the outside world, not so much the outside busyness of the world, but nature.
Nature,
Nature has
yes.
its own balance, and nature's just trying to tell us we know how to do this. We got this.
Yeah.
Listen, spend time with the tree, and watch the birds and I do it right near me. I'm thankful that luckily enough to have a park near me at a university, so I can watch the birds and the squirrels and how they all just manage their lives and get along and just do things and just be. So that connection, or even take up a sport. Now, sounds funny. You may not be able to do this, but years ago I took up horseback riding.
Uh,
Let me tell you, when you approach a being that large and learning how to ride it, everything else in your mind goes away. And you
mm-hmm.
are totally present with what's at hand. I was totally present with me and that beautiful, magnificent being. So try to find things that you can lend yourself to fully and intentionally, and everything else will it'll still be there, but it'll move to the background and not be in the
Mm-hmm.
foreground.
Oh, that's wonderful advice. Absolutely. Yes.
And we all can't do that, but then find, we also dig out. This is a time now when we're in this chaos and this volatility, and we're getting we're getting a little bit traumatized here and there. Try to
here
think
or
about the
there.
here and there. Yeah.
It's like a daily assault with something crazy coming out of nowhere.
Incoming. Yeah, incoming. Right, right.
Qatar is building an air base in
Yes.
Idaho. I mean, it's just
Yes. I
nonstop
know. I
nonsense.
know. I know. But this is the time we need to actually dig out those things that we had set aside. Those child, not the childlike, the child, not the childish things, the childlike things. Those little
Mm.
hobbies that we put aside, saying, "Oh, that's too. I got to work on this project." Pull out those things,
Well,
whether
I
it's
love
something
watching people knitting.
knitting.
That
See,
is so. That is. I
yes,
mean, I'm not going to do it, but
yeah, knitting,
I think
crocheting.
it's crochet
Yes,
and knitting can be a wonderful thing. It doesn't take a lot of money to get the
no,
stuff, and it's
and
meditative.
honestly, repairing your own socks and the hem. I mean, I have a couple of pairs of pants. I need to actually sew up the hem or the seams. Just doing that, and then putting on a podcast or just putting on music and sewing. That's that repair work. Because you're using the hands, that's
Yeah.
also connected to the fifth chakra, the hands, right?
Ah.
So yeah, the neck and the hands, this is a whole one thing is the
Yeah.
fifth chakra. So while you're doing that, that's also because and then you'll find your right brain's happy because she's getting, or that part of your brain is getting center stage. It's
Yeah.
always the left brain that gets so much of our attention. Once you started sewing, the left brain's like, okay, good, I'm busy, I got something to do. Then the right brain's like, fine, now I can then come out and talk
Mm.
and connect. And you'll hear things, you'll remember things that brought you joy, things that brought you that peace and bliss that has been pre-packaged for us now and repackaged for us, and it's no longer real and authentic. The
Mm.
so-called joy that we chase now.
Absolutely. I
So,
love that.
so simple practices. When I say simple, I don't mean it in the diminishing way. I mean simple in the ways of our forebears, our foremothers, and
Hmm.
aunties and everyone. Some of the old ways, the old good ways that taught us in replanting the house plant that you've been telling the house plant for months now. I'm gonna put you in a bigger pot. Put it in a bigger pot. You know what I mean? Do it. Put it in the bigger pot. You know what I mean? We each have a spice cabinet. Or I know I have a cabinet that needs to be, gone through and sorted out. Do that work. Put on some music or whatever. Put on comfy clothes and get in there and do that because that
Abs-
allows, because it keeps the body moving. So again, the body's happy, the physical body's happy. The left brain says, "Good, I got something to do. I got something to sort out." And then the right brain is saying, "Yeah." And now I can come out and say, "Hey, let's have fun when we finish this, because now we've earned it. Let's do something that's good for ourselves, good for our soul."
I I love that. Yes. Chicken soup for the soul.
Yeah,
Sounds like.
yes,
Hmm.
yes. Oh, I call it cosmic soup for the soul,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
so and of course there are also, we have a lot of us
I've got
have,
this book. I
what's
just
it
got
called?
this book from Colette Baron Reed.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yes,
she's
called The
fabulous.
Art of Manifesting, a meditative drawing practice to rewire your brain and create your reality. So I'm gonna work on this.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, just
And
something to get me out of my out of my head and try to.
yeah. And
Yeah.
and that's important right now is we spend a lot of time, to me, too much time. And being a Gemini, I can speak on this. I spend a lot of time in my head.
Oh, me too.
Mental, so that I to become mental. I become mental. I tell people, yeah, I'm mental. But yet I need to, we also need to get back to the joy, the laughter, you
Yeah.
know, the laughter that makes you just laugh out loud. Things that actually take you and transport you to, whether it's a fun time of the past or something, whether it's a daydream or something that you're thinking about that you find hysterical that may not be politically correct, but you find it funny.
Hmm.
You need to actually explore those things, so you can actually bring that joy and laughter back into your life.
Mm.
But also, a good cry never hurt anyone. A good cry.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to just let it go like that.
Absolutely.
A good cry,
Absolutely.
a good laugh, are ways to, the other good things which we all know about that you can do to help
Yeah.
you feel better in life. And this is a time we all have friends who are Reiki masters or do
Mhm.
energy healing. this is a time to check in with those people and get a service from those people.
Mm-hmm.
This is a time to explore and use and tend to your crystals that you have at home that you haven't been, that may need some care and attention and some cleansing and some support. Pull a
Yeah, I
few of
put
those
my
out.
crystals out under that Aries moon. There was such nice energy I felt, so I did that this week. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. This is a
Mm-hmm.
time because they also have energies that ground us, and that grounding, by being grounded so well like that, so less than we're allowed to soar higher when we're well grounded. That's the importance of being well grounded. One of the most important things about being well grounded. And another thing I have to share with someone that I had lunch with a dear friend this past week, and I was telling him about how years ago I saw this Vedic astrologer, but it wasn't he didn't do so much Vedic astrology as he did Vedic astrology with gemstones. The Vedic and Jyotish they go with gemstones,
Oh,
and he would just go over certain things with me. But one year I saw him, and he said, "No, not too much is going on in your chart," and I was outraged. I said, "I know I have something going on." He said one thing I do want to tell you is that when you start. I've seen that you actually are now, your chart is showing that you're actually soaring, you're moving upwards, you're able to actually reach higher heights. The challenge for you is that when you come down, you're coming down below the floor you started at.
ooh.
I say this to everyone I can so everyone can recognize as we all will start moving up and we'll find ourselves lifting up. We got lift off, and that's fine. But when you land, make sure you land intentionally and slowly so you do not fall below the floor upon which you left,
Oh,
you
that's
sprung
good
from.
advice.
Yes, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times I was crashing through the floor. I was crashing through the floor on my reentry.
Mm.
So I didn't pick, in other words, I didn't gain and maintain altitude. I mean, you soar higher and then you come down and adjust, but I over adjusted, so right through the floor.
Uh-huh.
So when
Yeah,
you
just
when you
putting out so much energy, there's a crash
there's a
afterward.
crash.
Yeah.
So just know that when you're putting out energy, you're receiving energy, and you're actually making some movements, and you feel that movement happening. Then also watch your breathing, watch yourself, be aware, so that you can actually have a graceful conclusion to that and not lose things. So you can maintain what you gained, to
Mm,
maintain the height that you gained.
I love that. Yeah. Oh, we have a question here. So Dr. Jane wants to know what's the astrology behind all of these odd insurance snafus, the
Hmm.
post office losing mail,
Mm,
delays in vital documents? Well, Uranus is in Gemini, and
yeah.
then we have the South Node
Mm,
in Virgo. So
mm,
the South Node is like a drain, and Virgo
mm-hmm.
and Gemini and Virgo are both ruled by Mercury, which
Right.
rules documents,
Mm-hmm.
post office, like contracts, like insurance stuff. But the South Node being in Virgo, Virgo's just like we just expect Virgo stuff to just be humming along, those routines that and just it's just the things that keep order to
Right.
just keep going along. But
Right.
then when all these layoffs, all these people like
Yeah. Yeah.
fired instantly, well, how do you get mail on time if the post office has lost, I don't know how many people, 20,000 people, each one with a job that was necessary for the mail to get from A to B to C, these
Right.
tariffs. Now, people from other countries are saying we're not sending, small items. We're not, dealing
No.
with
Yeah.
this. So yeah, it's pulling like all of this chaos and this sudden like shock
Yeah.
to the systems that we
Hmm.
could come to depend on is it's like the ripples are still going through the systems, I think, and it's symbolic
Yeah.
really
And
of
then
the
just
South Node in Gemini.
and don't
In
be the
Virgo.
and Virgo,
Hmm.
the air traffic controllers. See, the air traffic controllers still control all the planes that come in, and not just planes for travel. Our mail, our packages are also delivered to different receiving facilities by flight. So that's slowed down right now because we have a lot of air traffic controllers that are not able to show up from work. They're not getting
Hmm.
paid. It's not
Hmm.
safe for them to actually, for the planes to fly. So, yeah, we can see a slowdown, and I think everything's in chaos right now. The government's in chaos.
Hmm.
There's no one at the helm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's really, really concerning. Ah, oh, Venus will be on your sun with Mars on your Mars. Oh, that sounds wonderful, Tiffany. Yes. Ah, oh, stepbrother's getting married with Venus opposite Saturn. Well,
Hmm.
in sickness and in health. That's what that makes me think about.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
Like there'll be
That,
good times and bad times, but
hmm.
yeah, they've committed
If they
to.
commit to that, yeah, they both
Yeah.
commit to that, then that's good. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
let's
And the
see.
nice thing about that oppositions are hard because
They
they're
are.
as far away as they can be. And Venus rules relationships, and Saturn restrictions and commitments. But Saturn's in Pisces, a sign Venus loves to be in.
Hmm.
So that could be a relationship. Venus is in Virgo, the sign of its fall. It's not
Yeah.
thrilled there.
No.
But love is a devotional service of
Yes.
commitment and
Yes.
effort is how I would
I love
phrase
that phrase. Yeah.
that opposition for them. Ooh, look at me sounding off
No, I love that. That love is a devotional
philosophical.
service. It's fabulous. Love is a devotional service, and that's
Yes.
and that's something also to you mentioned about how to help us get back to or to manage ourselves during these times is to see love as a devotional service. Love of oneself, one's family, and start with self, family, friends, and then bring it out to your neighborhood, and just bring it out and spread it out that way and spread it out and keep on making it wider and wider. But love is a devotional service is that's a beautiful phrase, Celeste. That's excellent.
Oh, thank you. You're rubbing off on me, Jim.
It's
and,
because
and Dr. J says stolen focus talks about this tech robbing us of our access to spiritual spaces, especially our youth. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Tech can really suck.
yeah,
And
yes,
it'd be like almost like a vampire, especially because a lot of these people in the comments aren't even people. They're
yes. The
bots and
bots and
things trying
stuff.
to rile people
Mm-hmm.
up with really
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
negative comments. So we need to like be aware of that when we're working with tech. Oh,
And and
good. Yeah.
and remember too that this one thing that we have as human beings is a machine or AI cannot have love as a devotional service. They can't do the love. So we have to make sure that we are in charge of our state of the planet. And we are the highest level beings so far that we know on the planet. And we need to maintain that sovereignty and that level of operation and not give it over. We have a tendency to give over our power to things. And I'm not saying we can't have those things help us, but not give over our power to them fully.
Absolutely. It's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And
hot baths and lying in the sun. Those are wonderful
yes,
things. Yes. Oh,
even
jigsaw puzzles,
yep, yep.
listening to astrology podcasts, long walks in nature. Absolutely. These are great things. Outside time.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, right now in New York it's very cold. We got down to 40 degrees or about like 5 degrees Celsius last night. It was cold this morning. But walking outside in that brisk air, it definitely wakes up the senses. You know what I mean? That was because
Mhm.
it makes the body sort of like come to in a way that I can't get when I'm indoors. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Someone said the humans have this discernment, and that's something we can sharpen is our discernment. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, Vivian saying the madness is getting to her. Yes,
Yeah.
Vivian. Oh my
Yes.
goodness. On and off. This week was really, really
Yeah.
intense with we had the full moon and then Mercury and Scorpio squared Pluto and Aquarius. That was a really intense transit. That's some I don't like either that day or the day after was when Kamala Harris said these MFers are crazy.
They
And
are.
she
Yes.
wasn't kidding.
No, she's not, and she's not
They
wrong, and
are
she's not wrong. Yeah.
crazy.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
with
And
this.
yeah.
And you
And
know what concerned me when they
is
were
what?
talking about when they had their meeting about Antifa, and
Mm-hmm.
it really felt like my energy picked up. It was all this. There was like a lot of acting. Where
Yeah.
supposedly there's this woman that dates the head of Antifa, which there's no such thing
Mm-mm.
anyway.
Mm.
And who is this woman? Is this going to be the Steel Magnolia we see on Monday, telling tales that may be completely made up? I got actress.
Yeah.
So we'll see what's next. And it all looks so comical, but we have to take it really seriously.
Absolutely. Because the fact that they actually got this far is alarming. The fact that
Hmm.
there's no way that we should all be in this state right now that we're in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but fortunately, I guess the good news, the bad news is that we have company. We have other countries in similar positions. So
Yeah.
of the cold air was from the
Mhm.
Toronto Blue Jays. So it's so
Yes,
funny.
Vivian, where's your Pisces Venus? I mean, Saturn's at, I think, 28 or 27. But, yeah. Yeah, Tiffany's got so many boyfriends. She doesn't know what to do with them. Well, she does, but
That's good. Someone said,
yes, humans have discernment and AI does not. Yeah.
hmm hmm
Yeah, we we have to be the rulers of our mind, not give over to other stuff.
absolutely. Yeah,
Like
make sure we have the right. Hmm
I was wondering, like you teaching your AI stuff, if you're using it like by how you respond to it, like if you talk to it like it's a human being and give it a name and all this stuff. I don't
No,
do that.
no.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
It's a
I haven't used it
tool.
a lot as a tool. It's a tool. So I don't
Mhm.
even use Alexa. That's why I don't use Alexa or any of that because I don't want them to get too familiar with. To me, they're using me. You know what I mean? They're using
Uh-huh.
how I think and do and respond to actually build their own emotional body. No, not on me.
Mhm.
But I can see it's a tool, and I'm not going to give away my power. And that's something that I know it sounds trite or whatever, but we have to watch that. We do give away our power, or we don't
Mhm.
reclaim our time and our power. And
Mhm.
right now we're seeing because the results of that when we haven't given a time and attention to certain. They're not putting anyone down, but for this, there's a reason why the country's in the way situation is at is because I don't think the election was done. I don't think the results are actually accurate. But anyhow, here's where we are. But why are we there?
Mhm.
This because we haven't been paying, we gave away our power to something and then didn't investigate when we should have and say, oh, well, we don't want to be. No, I think now we're being forced to actually reclaim things before we lose everything.
Mhm.
And no one's going to save us because those who are in control right now are not looking to save us. They're looking to
Yeah.
enslave us. It's very different.
Absolutely.
Very different.
Absolutely. I want serfs. Yeah.
Want serfs.
Hmm.
They want serfs, yes. And and AI, with the ones that AI does not help them do that.
Yeah.
So the AI should be a very good tool. It could be a very good tool. But I noticed, with technology, when it first came on board for a lot of us, you're much younger than me, Celeste, but technology didn't so much take away a lot of my work. It created a lot of work for me too, because it created a different expectation.
Yeah.
So that created more work. So I'm a
Yeah, the
little,
more tools we get, the more we're working.
the more we're working.
It used to be like you left the office and that was it because
No,
you didn't have a little computer phone in your pocket
yes,
where people could bug you all night long
all night
or a
long.
laptop you could take home. You had to leave the computer at the office. So when you were gone, you were gone. You were gone, and if they did the tools didn't have any power over
No.
us the way they do today if we let them.
Well,
Yeah. So
I remember years ago flying. I used to fly to LA, New York for a lot, and I used to love getting on that plane because I knew, good, no one could reach me. I
yeah,
had
no one can
5
bother you
hours.
when you're on the plane. Not
They couldn't bother
anymore.
me. Not anymore. Even the subway. Oh no, we got service. I didn't ask for service. I wanted some time when I can say, oh, I can't hear you. Oh, can't bad connection. Or I can know I'm on that plane for 5 hours. You can't reach me for jack. Nope. And that's something. That's why we have to now also use make sure we keep ourselves balanced and grounded and speak up for ourselves and create your own boundaries. We
Mhm.
have to say, no, I am not available
Yeah.
at this time. If this is your own time and you have your own business and your own whatever, you have to be allowed to say, no, I am not reachable.
Yeah.
And if there's, what's that old saying? If there's blood on the floor or an emergency, call the hospital, call 911. I'm
Yeah.
not the one to, so, because I would have, not you, but I know in my job, I would get calls about insignificant things, so just something to keep something going. You got to
Yeah.
keep you, no, I don't want that level of engagement in my life with everything,
Mhm. Yeah.
um
Yeah.
throw in the
Well,
rotary phone. Yes.
Savantra, you have to.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is about you creating boundaries. You feeling like you're walking through mud, and the pressure to always take care of things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
until you get sick.
Until you
That's
get,
that's what the body will do if you
yeah.
just keep going, going, going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's so much, like if you have to put food on the table for your kids and
Yes.
take care of the home and all this other stuff, it can be hard. Sometimes there are points in our lives where we just have to just keep pushing despite
Now there
needing
is
to.
that. I've been there. Yeah.
Hmm.
But then there's still a time to if we could carve out 5 or 10 minutes of a day each
Yeah,
day to do something for you. You know, sometimes people do that in the bathroom because you could shut that door and say either to the kids, whatever, like, I'm in the bathroom.
yeah.
And you have time to, do bathroom stuff, and you also have time to just think and be
Hmm.
quiet. So don't bring
Hmm.
your phone in there or whatever. You know what I mean? Have time to just be. Well, if you bring your phone in there because you're playing a game, fine. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. But just being or putting your
being,
feet in the grass can
yes.
even like a 10-minute walk can
Oh my
change your
goodness.
whole mood. Just
It
moving your
does.
body can change your
Yeah.
whole moods. So think about that. Yeah. Oh, there's a question. What is this weekend's energy like?
Oh
So
yes.
today, Venus is opposing Saturn. It perfects tomorrow. So that can put a little like damper or make joy feel like it's a little harder to reach for. But I think the
Oh.
simple things that we're talking about that
Uh-huh.
become like a devotional practice can be really powerful, like all
Yeah.
the tools that you mentioned. And the moon is in Gemini, which
Yeah.
is playful,
Yeah.
connecting. Like text a friend or call a
Yes.
friend you haven't seen in
Yes.
a while, and
The
just even
chatty
or
moon.
sibling or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
talk to your neighbor. Yeah, connecting, yeah, just a little connections that are they
Yeah.
don't even need to be long.
No.
Smiling at a
Mm-mm.
stranger, these are the
Yeah.
things that can lighten things up. And then the moon goes into Cancer, and then we have a last quarter moon, which could be really emotional because
Yeah.
it's going to be big stuff. And this could be when the hostages are released because the
Uh.
moon goes into Cancer, and the
Uh-huh.
last quarter moon is conjunct of the moon is applying to Jupiter, and like we may be seeing people running towards each other they haven't seen in years,
Yes.
and this joyful
That's
connection. But
great.
they're Pluto stationing direct in the sign
Yes.
of Aquarius, so
Yeah.
people who have been brutalized, and they'll be
Yeah.
yeah all over this area of the world where like just the horrors,
Mm-hmm.
unmentionable horrors have been going on. Like seeing that, but the connection back to family, but it
Yeah.
squares Chiron and Aries, so there's
Ooh.
war and these power. Yeah, it's like this intense energy. Like we just had an earthquake in the
Yeah.
Philippines. That
Mm-hmm.
it's like the world is letting some of that energy out
Absolutely.
before
Yes.
this big thing. Like a volcano might erupt this weekend with Pluto going direct. Yeah,
Now,
that's how intense the energy is.
Chiron and Aries. What's that could that how could that feel?
Well, Chiron is conjunct Eris, the goddess of
Oh,
chaos.
Eris. Okay. Yep.
Yes,
Mars'
astrologer
sister.
Kimberly keeps reminding me of
Mm-hmm.
this. They're
Mm-hmm.
both at 25 degrees of Aries. So if you have anything around there, and Chiron is the wounded healer,
Yes.
speaking to our our deepest wounds that never truly heal. And in
Mm-hmm.
Aries, it's the self. It can also be about self-inflicted wounds, the things we do that come out of for whatever reason, if it's
Mm-hmm.
impatience or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just self-sabotaging
Yes,
things.
that's what
And
I get, self-sabotage. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yes, and
Mm-hmm.
Eris can be like
Eris.
that's very intense
Yeah.
energy. She rolled
Mm-hmm.
the apple into the party that
Mm-hmm.
started the Trojan War, but also can really bring things to light that are uncomfortable. She's was Mars' sister. So
Sister. Yeah.
Mars, the god
Mm-hmm.
of war, Eris, the goddess of chaos. They are
And
siblings.
yeah.
So yeah,
And,
there's this energy of upheaval, like, and with
yes.
Jupiter is squaring that. So Jupiter's in Cancer, a cardinal
Mm-hmm.
water squaring Chiron and Eris and Aries, and it's going to perfect like October 24th for the first of three times.
Oh.
And it's intense energy. And some of the ways we've seen it is
Mm-hmm.
Jupiter rules judges, and
Right.
that judge's house that was, I don't know if it's official yet, but sure looks like it was bombed
Right.
in political violence, domestic
Mm.
terrorism, cancer is domestic.
Yep.
Jupiter rules judges. Jupiter also
Mm-hmm.
rules the clergy, and that reverend
Yes.
who was
Yeah.
sprayed in the face. Aries rules the head for protesting. And I mean, just what those ICE agents did to this reverend. If they're going to treat a reverend like that, imagine what they're
Mm-hmm.
going to do to what they're doing to, immigrants.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, they're dragging babies out of bed and zip tying them. I mean, this is just what is being done in the name of home protection, because Jupiter protects, because it's the
Mm-hmm.
biggest planet thought to protect
Yes.
the Earth from space junk. So this is the new moon in Libra is going to be intense. That's happening October 21st, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Neptune's going to go back in Pisces, and then this thing is happening. So there's intense stuff coming up. Yeah. But I think but we keep seeing signs that we're going to be, I feel like we're going to prevail after a hard time.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're actually entering approaching the event horizon. I think we're really getting to that place now where the rubbers meet. That's why I wrote sent that note to you. The rubbers meeting the road soon. We're going to have to
Yes.
actually get to that point where, and you can feel this. We're actually going, and that's what I think is getting us all the agitation that we're feeling. I know I'm getting agitated. It's because of that. So because of, it's we know that we can't stop this, and we have to keep our breathing and actually go through it,
Mhm.
and make our way through it or whatever. There's no pushing it aside any longer, putting a band-aid on it, and there's no ignoring it. We're at this place together as a collective, and that's the good news. We're in it together. We're in it together,
Mhm.
and not by yourself. And we're all being called upon to do what we have to do to make it through this. So we have what it takes to remember that we have what it takes. We
Mhm.
have to start using it. We have to start using it. We have to start unpacking those gifts. A lot of things too that we have sometimes had certain talents or gifts that we knew about, but we put aside because of work, family, raising the kids, taking care of my mother, or whatever else going on. Now, when these tough times come, start, unpack, to the attic, even if it's an energetic attic or basement, and unpack some of those gifts. Unwrap them. Put them into play again
Mhm.
because they're there for a reason. They're probably calling to you now, like, remember me? And it could be something that you could use for yourself and eventually could be a cottage industry for yourself. It could be something to help your neighborhood, your neighbors, something to help your survival through these next, I
Mhm.
don't know, till we get through mid 2026. I think we're going to have a little bit of a rough time in this world, and especially this country.
Yeah, the next couple of years are
I
are
knew it.
tough. Are tough. Oh my God.
I knew it. I'm trying to tell people. I'm trying to keep it down. Like say, oh, just until mid 2026. But I know it's gonna be a couple of years. Well, it makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been going through this breaking down period now for at least 10 years or so. We've been going through the breakdown, so it doesn't just automatically get back up. I mean, we'll see pieces that will, just to see the freedom amongst all the I mean, to use a bitter analogy or a metaphor, I mean, think about those war-torn areas. And once they had the ceasefire, you're happy, but you look around you and everything's been torn asunder.
I know. Yeah, I
So,
can't even imagine
no.
what it's like for, yeah. And ooh, yeah, there's a lot of dark energy, but Venus and Jupiter are always doing something.
Yeah,
They're always
yes.
there. There's always
Good.
joy to be had,
There
even
is
if
that
it
journey to be
feels
had.
like it's hard to grasp. So
Yeah.
I think and when Venus goes into Libra, we'll see how this kite shows up.
Okay.
But
And when is that again?
that's on Monday. So
Oh,
Venus
it's
goes into
Monday.
Libra, and as soon as it goes into
Ah,
Libra, it starts opposing Neptune in Aries. So I get that Neptune in Aries is like mythic heroes rising. And then Venus makes a grand trine in air with Uranus and Pluto. So we may see someone, as it could be a statesperson, like Venus in Libra. Libra rules like politicians. It could be a politician, a lawyer type, a woman who's speaking very eloquently, potentially, or someone speaking very
Hmm.
eloquently.
Hmm.
Somebody making
Good.
a call for a revolution.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talking about like Greta Thunberg really feels like this energy as well. Like she's like a
Mm-hmm.
modern day Joan of Arc
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Yeah.
really, really passionate about. Yeah, so it might be somebody you just see at the grocery store and they
Right.
start talking
Yeah.
about, or you get a call from somebody who wants you to join up, write postcards, do something
Yeah.
to protect elections, or just make your
Right.
neighborhood better. I think
Well,
we're really seeing people coming together in community more. Maybe
yes.
someone, maybe you'll be the Steel Magnolia that says, I'm sick of this computer stuff. I'm going to
Yes.
start something locally, or people are going to get
Yeah.
together and we are going
Yes.
to do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do this one of these days, but there's somebody teaching Mahjong in this
Yeah.
park near me, and I have to
Okay.
go. I have to put it on my calendar and go.
Yeah.
I've wanted to learn Mahjong for years, and this could be a great
A great
opportunity.
time. Yeah, yeah, you have nice weather, so we're getting ready to go into our cold weather here. But speaking of neighborhood, I live in a college town, and I find that some of the young ones they'll see what I'm reading. They see I'm reading an astrology book, or they see I'm reading a book about energy work, and they'll just sort of like, so what's that? They want to learn. They just sort of they want to ask a question, and they want to then explore some issues around, and then we talk about stuff. And this is a time now for those of us who especially have some time served, to make sure that we make ourselves available to those in our community who may be young by age or young by learned their wisdom, and actually share and actually converse with, not at, but converse with people.
I
People, I
love
think,
that.
are needing to and do a lot of listening. People want to really be. A lot of people, not only are they by themselves, but they have no one to hear them safely.
Mm,
There's no safe space for them to say out loud what they're feeling, and so they can even hear it from themselves.
mm,
So for you to be that safe space, and I'm not saying you have to agree with it, just let it be between, like say you and I, the space between us, I can allow you to say things and to hear your thoughts come out of you and meet the air and just say, I see. Okay, oh, okay, that's how you feel. And ask questions about them. Ask them. Doesn't mean you will ever agree. You may agree, you may not, but help them and honor them by hearing them and asking them questions. That does so much to a person's soul, to give them
mm,
peace and joy. To say that person, by you hearing them, makes them feel like I was loved. I was,
mhm.
what I mean, I have a meaning in life. I was shown
Yes.
respect. I was shown respect.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, and Manifester says everyone wants a magical solution, but they don't believe in. Many don't believe in magic.
Right, right,
That's
yeah,
deep.
yeah, that's true. And a lot of the work that I do, I feel is magical, the work I do, but and I use the word and then explain how it shows up. Um, there's magic all around us, but we are so still under the patriarchy and we're still breathing the gas. I tell people turn the gas off. We're still gaslighting, being gaslit about our power and what is
Hmm.
real and how we can manifest or not manifest. We
Hmm.
can do these things, but we're told, and we'll tell ourselves, no, and we'll actually tell others. You know how we bully people down because you can't. I don't want to believe that because we can't believe that yet. Is it okay? It's not
Yeah.
okay yet. And we have
Hmm.
to actually each stand up and say, it's okay. It may not be okay for you, and that's fine, but it is okay for me. Carve out your belief system space without
Hmm.
relying on everyone else to buy in.
Yes, and it used to be like that. People of different opinions used to be able to have a conversation about them, not agree necessarily, but
Right.
hear out
Yes.
without feeling, like that had everything had to be a battle. And I think
Yeah. No.
we need to get
Exactly.
back to that. And like,
Yeah.
why do you feel that way? And when somebody explains it, it may be like you may think, oh well, that's stupid, but you may think like, huh. That's
Yeah,
interesting. I never
yeah,
looked at it that way.
right.
Yeah. And you
Yes.
don't have to say anything, but
You see
I
it.
hear you.
I hear
Ah.
you. I see. Oh, interesting. Yeah, and realize that we all are saying things and experiencing things through what we've experienced through our own filters, through our family filter, job filter, religious filter, all those filters. So and stop taking ourselves so seriously. Because I don't know about you, but I've had reversals where I realized you used to say that. I mean, things I thought about years ago that I realized, you weren't too clear on certain things,
Oh,
and
absolutely. I
and
thought I knew everything at,
yeah, oh
at
yeah,
20.
yes.
I knew nothing.
Yeah, I said this world would move much better if everyone realized that I know what I'm talking about and I'm the smartest on the planet. But now we laugh about this, but we have someone who's in charge who thinks this way, who
Hmm.
literally thinks this way, and now we can see how that looks,
Hmm.
how that moves and sounds and walks. Not too good. So yeah, that should help us say, I don't, we don't need that. You know what I mean? No one has that much knowledge and stuff. So, oh,
Yes.
happy Canadian Thanksgiving. Someone says oh, Canada must be having their Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Oh, happy
Happy
Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving,
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot theirs is October. I forgot theirs is in October.
Yeah. Ah, self care is radical care. Okay, manifestors like, let's bring back cursive writing. So,
Yes.
my mother was so sad. I am left handed,
Oh,
and my
okay.
penmanship is horrible.
Oh,
Her penmanship was absolutely beautiful. If I brought back cursive writing, I would never be able to read what I wrote. Yeah. And a rotary phone. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, rotary
People
phones.
wouldn't be able to communicate with
No, I
that.
mean,
Yeah,
but I
that's
did
right.
miss
The
the
rotary
the
phone.
rotary
Oh my
phone.
God.
But the old fashioned phones
Making
though,
a phone call was a whole ordeal.
it was. But also the hang ups though, when you got mad at somebody, you get to slam that phone down. That was the best feeling. I miss. I mean, not that I would do that
You
now,
miss
but
slamming the phone down.
I miss slamming the
Uh,
phone down on people.
oh, I love that Practical Astros is having a clothes swap potluck with friends for the Venus Saturn opposition.
Hmm.
Shopping Venus and getting new things, but Saturn and Pisces, you're not expending anything. It's like Venus and Virgo, like
Yeah.
there's not
Yes.
like money being exchanged kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, everything's used. That's a perfect use
Well,
of that
it's a
energy.
treasure. Like someone else's garbage is someone else's treasure. So you're sharing. You're retreasuring things. You're
Ah,
retreasuring.
yeah. Now, if you have Thanksgiving on Monday, how do you celebrate Thanksgiving on Monday?
Well, I guess they're
I guess you can
closed.
do it any day of the week.
Yeah. Well, that still gives you a long weekend,
Hmm.
and
Oh,
maybe their
that's
thanks.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
because ours is Thursday. Because we're just lucky to get Friday off. Too, if we're lucky.
Tiffany, that happened last month.
What happened?
What she wants to bring back. And Uranus is going back into Taurus. It doesn't quite get to Algol, which is the beheading star,
Yeah.
but yeah. Mm.
So what Tiffany say?
She wants guillotines to come
Oh,
back. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the revolutionary energy is here with
yeah, the French Revolutionary. Yeah.
yeah, the French revolutionary energies, Pluto and Aquarius. Plus, we've got Neptune and Aries.
And then
And
maybe,
Uranus and
yeah,
Gemini is very, very revolutionary
it
energy.
is. It
Hmm.
is a fast-moving
Yes.
revolutionary energy. Yeah. Well, I think people, because you don't have to lose your head to actually physically lose your head. You can lose your head by other methods. You could lose your right-mindedness.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, we're just having such a good time talking. It's after 4. Ah, is there anything we could just sit here talking forever? Let me see. Ah, I love that. Yeah, just be yourself, Krista. I think I'm going to see you next week. Hmm. Okay, let me see if there's any other comments. Yeah, Tiffany, yeah, you enjoy being yourself. Yes. Oh, Tiffany wants to know. Tiffany has a lot of psychic abilities and energetic things she can do with her mind. Is a session with you something to help develop that?
Yeah, that could be. We could explore and see if that's something I could help her with.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I do that. I mean, I've been trained. I am a psychic and medium. I just, it comes part of my practice. I don't actually book with people to talk to deceased loved ones and so on, but I train with Tony Stockwell. He's a British psychic, a medium who's a riot. But yeah, I mean, I can help you explore those. If that's what you want to explore, we can talk about that. Absolutely. Just DM me on JeMaja the Alchemist. Send me a DM with your email so then we can correspond.
Yeah. So they have Monday off in Canada, and Manifester says, we live in Canada, so we're thankful every day. I hear you. Yes, you
Yes.
should be thankful every day to be in Canada.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yes.
all the things. Yeah. I might. So many Americans are trying to run for the border, and Canada says, no, you don't.
No, no, and we gotta stay.
No, you made
We
your
gotta
mess. You got to clean it
absolutely.
up yourself.
I agree.
Yes.
We got to stay here and actually reclaim our power and reclaim our time and this land. That so no, and land was stolen anyhow. So we need to actually make it better for everyone to live here. Everyone comes here to escape something. So now those who are here, who escaped from some other regime, who are here now, need to take part in making sure that this place has a democracy that welcomes all. Absolutely. Mm-mm.
Mhm.
I know it's because
Absolutely. I just kind of got the feeling of how you work it up to hanging up the phone on people.
because it's like, yeah, you know what I
I
mean?
saw
It's
that
just like,
energy
yeah, no,
rising.
we have to, yeah. I think, I mean, yeah, I want to run to Ghana too. I really want to leave this place. You know what I mean? I don't want to go through another round of having to defend my right to be here as a human being, but I'm not going to let anybody run me out of here at the same time either. No.
Hmm.
Mm-mm. Each of us has a right to be here. Each of us who's here right now has a right to be here. By divine design, our souls chose to be here. So now what are we gonna do with it? We can do stuff with it. We just have to we have to just sort of face it, stop and from all the running and face it, because we got it. We will learn so much more about ourselves and our own power once we complete this exercise.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Well, it has been a joy talking to you. And yeah, you can follow Jemaja. You could just even push the carrot, but tell people your information again and if you have anything going on right now.
Yeah, I have. Well, I'm JeMaja the Alchemist. I'm on Instagram as JeMaja the Alchemist. I have a couple of free group meditations coming up that
Ooh.
actually are helping people with empowerment and helping them with their actually feeling their peace, their bliss, and and their joy. The PBJ, I call it like peanut butter jelly. The PBJ in life, which we
Oh,
all
I
need
need
to
to
actually.
sign up for your group meditation.
Yeah, I'm gonna send out a post, and it's something I do because people are actually at the time right now where we need to have this opportunity to see our way through all this chaos and all the stuff coming down around us, and
Yeah.
to actually know that we can do this and actually find our steady ground. We feel like we're on a sifting sands, and we are on shifting sands, I should say, but we could still find our way forward together. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for this amazing conversation. The tools you gave, yes, yeah, beautiful tools. And take good care. Everyone have a good weekend. And remember, Pluto is stationing retrograde. So just watch out for power struggles. And if you feel really intense, it
Yeah,
should lighten up a little
it
bit
should lighten.
after Monday or
Yeah, and
Tuesday.
then that's a good time to go outside, breathe, get some fresh air. You know what I mean? Just work it off. Don't necessarily engage right away. If you feel that intensity, just sort of like, okay, feel it. Don't need to act on it, but it's
Yeah,
okay to feel it.
absolutely. Well, take good care.
All right. So good talking to you, Celeste. Thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, of course. Anytime.
All
Have a
right.
great weekend.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.
Bye.